Hello friends, my name is Ryan, and I'm going to tell you a story named The Great Train Robbery, Britain's Most Daring Heist, which is an amazing tale filled with twists and suspense. This story will leave you on the edge of your seat, wondering what will happen next. So, let's begin. It was the year 1963, and England was about to witness one of the most audacious crimes in its history. But before we dive into the details of that fateful day, let me paint a picture of the scene: a quiet, peaceful morning, with the mist still hanging over the countryside as the world slowly awakened. People were going about their usual routines, unaware that something extraordinary was about to unfold. The skies were grey, and the air had that crisp, cool feeling of early autumn. But there were men, hidden away in the shadows, who were planning a heist like no other. These men were not ordinary criminals, no. They were a gang of masterminds, led by a man whose name was never meant to be forgotten. The great mastermind, who went by the name of the Master, had spent months laying out the perfect plan. His crew was a well-oiled machine, each member carefully selected for their skills and precision. They had done their homework, studied every move, every corner, every train schedule, and had every possible escape route figured out. The target? A Royal Mail train carrying millions of pounds in cash. This was the jackpot, the heist of the century. The gang was going to make off with enough money to disappear forever, and they would do it in broad daylight. The train, known as the Flying Scotsman, was one of the fastest and most secure trains in the country, but to these men, it was just another obstacle to overcome. The plan was simple: stop the train, take the money, and vanish without a trace. It sounded easy enough, but the risk was immense. The police were already aware of some chatter, but they had no idea what was coming. As the train sped along the tracks, the gang members put their plan into action. They had managed to create a fake signal, a diversion that would cause the train driver to stop in the middle of nowhere. The train, unaware of the danger, slowed down at the signal, just as the criminals had hoped. And as it came to a halt, the gang made their move. With masks covering their faces, they stormed onto the train, overpowering the crew and the passengers. The speed and precision with which they worked was astonishing. They knew exactly what to do, and in mere minutes, they had gained control of the train. No one could have predicted the chaos that would follow. Inside the train, the passengers were terrified, but the criminals weren't interested in them. They had only one thing on their minds: the money. With swift movements, they found the hidden compartments, where millions of pounds in cash were securely stored. It was a fortune, a treasure trove beyond imagination. The gang couldn't believe their luck. They loaded the cash into bags, making sure to leave no trace of their presence. Every detail was planned to perfection. But as the gang made their escape, a twist no one had seen coming was about to unfold. The police, having received an anonymous tip-off just moments before, were closing in. The escape route was set, but the plan was about to go awry. The mastermind, the Master, had expected the police to be far behind, but somehow they were closer than anticipated. The gang had to act fast. Panic spread like wildfire among the criminals as they rushed to get away, but fate wasn't on their side. They made a crucial mistake: one of the bags containing the money was left behind in the rush to escape. It wasn't much, but it was enough to leave a trail for the authorities. The police were on their tail, but the gang had a backup plan, or so they thought. As the night fell, the criminals scattered into the darkness, blending into the shadows, hoping to lose the pursuing officers. But one by one, they were picked off. The police weren't going to let this heist slip through their fingers. The Master and his crew were quickly surrounded, and in the dead of night, the net tightened. The arrests came swiftly, but what followed was even more surprising. Despite the careful planning, the gang's leader, the Master, vanished without a trace. It was as if he had disappeared into thin air, leaving the police with more questions than answers. How did he manage to escape? Where had he gone? And who were the real masterminds behind the heist? The investigation into the heist was a whirlwind of twists and turns. The police uncovered shocking secrets, and it became clear that the criminals weren't just ordinary thieves. They were highly skilled, ruthless, and determined to get away with murder. But despite all their efforts, the authorities couldn't crack the case completely. The money was never fully recovered, and the truth behind the master's escape remained a mystery. As time went on, the story of the Great Train Robbery became legendary. The daring heist captured the imagination of the entire world. The police were left to piece together the fragments of the case, but they couldn't help but admire the skill and precision with which the criminals had carried out their plan. Years later, the story of the Great Train Robbery would be retold countless times, becoming one of the most famous and infamous crimes in British history. The mystery surrounding the escape of the master continued to haunt the minds of those who had followed the case. Some believed he had never truly escaped, while others believed he had lived the rest of his life in hiding, waiting for the right moment to reappear. The story of the Great Train Robbery wasn't just about the money, it was about the audacity, the planning, and the risk that these criminals took to pull off the heist of a lifetime. And though the mystery may never be fully solved, the tale of that daring day in 1963 will live on in the hearts and minds of those who hear it. Well, my friends, this was the story of the Great Train Robbery, a tale of deception, cunning, and audacity. If you found this story as thrilling and suspense-filled as I hope you did, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more spine-chilling tales and heart-racing suspense. Keep your curiosity alive, because with us, inspiration and mystery never stop.